Right. Oh, no. Got my microphone out. Right. So this is a little video for those who are coming to the end of the third person combat tutorial stuff. I've just been thinking a little bit about how we can polish this up and make it look a little cooler. And so this is just a little video on how to get slow motion working for when you hit a enemy. So I walk up to him, I hit him. There's a little bit of slow motion to sell that moment of impact. Yeah. And then it just returns back to normal. So this is really simple to set up, but I thought it'd be a cool little video to do. So I've actually already got the code set up. It's here. So I'm going to just move that over here and rewrite it so that I can show you what I'm doing. Now, if you've been following along with this series, we are just doing it in the enemy take damage. I thought about doing it here in the actual deal damage notification state, but we can't do a delay in here, and we need a delay in order to make this work. So we could have it happen here, use the node that's called time dilation here, but then we'd have to do the delay in the enemy blueprint somewhere anyway, so we might as well just do it here. So all I've done is in the take damage, after the do once, because we still want this to be part of the do once, I've put in a sequence. So that's all I've done. Drag off there, put in a sequence, and then off that sequence we're going to write this code, right? So the first thing we need is a delay. Now this first delay is to let the animation play a little bit before it actually gets into the slow motion. So I'm going to put that for 0.1, but that'll differ depending on the animation you're using. But again, if you're following along with this series, then that should be right. Okay, then what we need to do is we need to drag out from here and type set global time dilation. It's as simple as that. Now, time dilation is set to 1 by default, so 0 would be no movement at all. Now over here I've set time dilation to be 0.1 because I really want you to feel that slow down. So I'm going for 0.1, but of course if you want it even more you can go for 0.00 something, and then it'll slow down even more. If you set it to 0, it'll stop for a minute. That could work as well. You could just have it stop, and then you could really feel the impact. So play around with this and see the different results you can get. And then we want another delay. So I'm just going to copy CV. Again, this is a 0.1. Now, the actual slow-mo seems to last a little bit longer than 0.1. That should be really quick, but again, play around with that and see what you can get. Then we need to, after that delay, just set the global time dilation back again. So Control CV on that, and then set that to 1. And then that is going to have that slow-mo effect. So let's hit compile. Then I'll show you something else you can do. Play around with it. So walk up to him. As we hit him, we have that cool slow-mo, and then it goes back to normal. Now, I don't think we want this for this because I think this works really well, but sometimes you'll want one thing to slow down, maybe the enemy or the player, but not the other. So let's have a look at how we could do that. So let's go back to our code here. Now what we can do is we can get player pawn for a start. Let's get the player pawn. And then if we drag out from here, we can set custom time dilation, right? So we're going to set custom time dilation for the player. So we can pop that in there, plug it in, because we want it to happen before the, after the first delay, but before the second one. And right, so in order to work this out, so if we've set this to be this to be 0.1, then in order for this, because if I just set that to 1, you'll notice, compile, that I don't think it'll do anything. Let's just see. Right, so it's just doing the exact same, right? I'm slowing down because my time dilation is already set to 1. Right? So what I've got to do is I've got to times this, so I've got to get to 1, right? So I don't want this to be 1 anymore. So I've got to times this number. Well, in fact, I forgot the maths, but just so how best to explain it? Just a second. I've been watching a. That's not going to work. So best to explain it is that we have to sort of like times this number to get up to 1, and then set that times that number by that. So in this case, if it's 0.1, in order to get to 1, we have to times 0.01 by 10. So we'd have to set this number to be 10 if we wanted it to be going at normal speed, right? Now, if we'd set that number to 2, we'd have to set that number to 5. If that makes sense. I don't think I explained that particularly well. But basically, set your time dilation to 0.1 and then set that to 10 or 0.2 and set that to 5. Okay, so you've got to times that number to get to 1, however you would get to 1, and then times this number by that same number. Okay, bit of a, I think that would count as simultaneous equations, very simple ones. All right, so compile. Then we've obviously got to set it back as well. So Control CV, come over here and set that back down to 1. And hit compile. Now we've got an error because this needs a target, so we'll just drag that back into there. So let's give it, this might not work, but let's have a look. So now he should slow down, which he does, but I stay the same speed. Okay, let's just try that again because I think it caused a bug in the animation. Yeah, it did. So that is actually now playing the animation twice as well. So that causes a problem all to itself, which I'm not willing to fix now. But that would, I guess, would be a case of during that time is setting the variable to be off so that it doesn't keep playing the animation. Or set the delays to be different. Let's just give that another go just to see if we can. So hit him. See, it's doubling up now, right? I'm playing 2 animations now. So I wouldn't know how to fix that, but let's just have a little look while we're on. See if we can go in here. So enemy attack. So we've got this delay here. Now the problem is that we've got 2 things. We've got an animation state where he's like this, right? And then so this is when he's not in slow-mo, which works. And then there's an animation state when that's in slow-mo but you're not. So you've been sped up essentially. So yeah, so I would not say that that's not a viable way to do that. So we're going to get rid of that. Let's go back into the enemy VP and just get rid of this because I don't think that is going to work out. And to be honest with you, I don't think it looks as good anyway. I think we want our player to slow down a little bit. I'm going to see if I can get this to be small though. 0.001, right? See if we can just have that slow-mo be a really snappy. I only want it to be slow-mo. Really snappy. Yeah, so now you don't see it at all. So let's just get rid of one of those zeros. Now it just looks jumpy. So, okay, so that's not right. So we do want it to be 0.1, but let's just play around with this a little bit to see if we can. So what happens if we just freeze it, that frame? Ooh, something went wrong there. Okay, well that actually, I mean, that could work if delay, then set it back. Why isn't it being set back? So set it, delay, set it back. Am I missing something here? Am I being stupid? Why isn't it setting back? It was before. So if I set that to be 0.1, Okay, so there's a bug with the animations as well. So if he attacks and I hit him, it doesn't know which animation to play. So there's a little jump, so I need to go in. We'll fix all that stuff in a different video. How come then that... How come then it won't go from 0 back to 1? That's really weird. It should do. So there's obviously something we're not taking into account here that's completely freezing the game at this point and then not returning us back, which is annoying. So 0.1 seems to be, but like I say, I've only really just started to play with this and thought, oh, I'll make a little video before I go away. And see, that really does sell that a little more. And if we had some... Yeah, and if we had more responsive animations, it's going to work a lot better. See, now he's attacking. He should instantly, as soon as he gets hit, it should die. But we'll fix that in another video. Okay, so that's time dilation. Give it a go. Have a play around with it. See if you can get it working in your project. Like I say, it'll look a lot better when you've got particle effects going off and all that kind of stuff, and you've timed the animations properly. Looks like it does cause some problems though. So it's not going to be without its pitfalls. So, like I say, play around with it. See what you can get going. And this is all about getting as much feedback for the player. So that's what this is for, essentially. Slow down, speed up. That's another thing as well. It'd be fun to have speed things up as well. So you have bits where he's going really fast and all sorts of things that we could play around with here. So I'm going to end the video there. Play around with it in your own projects and see what you get working. Okay.